Let's talk Krigler Perfumes. I recently returned from a model shoot in Chicago, and while I was there, I decided to check out a perfume house I had never heard of before. It was located in the Peninsula Hotel in Chicago, within walking distance. When I arrived, it seemed very exclusive. It was kind of this boutique style. They had one attendant. She was very knowledgeable. She told me that the house originated in 1904 and that it was German. She proceeded to show me different samples of the perfumes. They were beautiful, lovely bottles. The selection was about 30, I believe. I really liked one called Good Fur, which was kind of like a green perfume, green smelling, kind of woodsy, fresh. But the one I really liked was called Octave Aurum. It kind of reminded me of Kilian's Angel Share Paradise, but a little more subtle if you didn't want it to be as loud as Angel Share is. And that is the one I ultimately decided on until she told me the price. My goodness, I will pay a lot for a perfume. I will pay $400 in the $400 range of Kilian, Parfums de Marly, Initio, these ones, right? In my head, when I got to this boutique, I was thinking that was the price range I was going to be purchasing in, the $400 price range. I said, okay, it's my birthday month. I'm going to get myself a present. I asked for the Octave Aurum in the 50 milliliter bottle, not the 100, the 50 milliliter bottle, and she told me it was $855 USD. I was in shock. She could tell I was in shock. And then she said, well, it's because, it'll last 8 hours. They use 40% oil concentrate. So this bottle costs more than another bottle. The Good Fur was, I believe she said 500. And I had to tell her, no, there is a limit to how much I will pay. And $855 for a 50 milliliter bottle of perfume is definitely exceeding the limit. And then it really got me thinking, why? Why are we paying this much for a perfume that performs just as well as a $400 bottle of perfume? And if we go even further, that performs just as well as a $50 bottle of perfume by a Middle Eastern house. So unless you're a perfume collector and you like the bottle and you want to say that you have something from the House of Krigler, sure. But if you're just trying to smell nice, there is no one that can convince me that the $855 exceeds expectations of these other perfumes, and that's why it's that much money. No, I'm not going to buy into it. I'm not going to pay that much for a perfume just to smell nice, because there are things that last longer, smell better, or smell just as good for half the cost, a fourth of the cost. And then I got to thinking even further that the fragrance world is the only world in which the duplicate might be better, might last longer, might smell more divine. Whereas, let's say the designer bag world, you know that the fake or the duplicate is not going to be to the same quality. And I really love that about the fragrance world, because you're letting people smell amazing for a fraction of the cost thanks to these Middle Eastern houses. And since everybody's pH is different, as long as you don't get a really cheap one that uses a lot of alcohol, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Someone passed by me and I smelled Baccarat Rouge 540, and it might have been Red Temptation by Zara. I couldn't really tell. It smelled amazing on them. So there's my little rant about pricing in perfumes, what I'm not willing to pay. And thank you, Middle Eastern houses, for making it affordable for everybody. Thank you for watching.